So it's been a couple of days since our camping trip, and it really got me so excited and so inspired again to work with my herbs and see what kind of lovely recipes I can make this summer. So I thought that today I will do a lovely rose infused oil. I'm feeling very much a rose theme recently. I'm not sure why. I think it's just it's one of my most favorite plants in general, any time of the year. It's got so many wonderful medicinal properties, and especially now in the summer, it's really helpful as rose is a very cooling plant. It's wonderful for the skin, wonderful for the hair. It's really hydrating, very soothing, great for anything on any kind of irritations or burns or anything like that. So rose is just very soothing and cooling, and it can, help with puffiness of the skin, and it's just really wonderful. So I'm going to make a rose infused oil today, and that will have to sit for a little bit, but it's fine because I think I have just about enough time here in the flat to make it. And to have it on hand, and I think it's going to be really lovely just to use as a kind of skin moisturizer, and just to use on my face a little bit, and it's just going to be really lovely. And I love the smell of rose so much, so I think it's going to be really wonderful. And I also do want to make an infused honey today, and I'm going to be making it with my fresh thyme that is currently growing on my balcony. And since we're not going to be here for at least a month, I think, I'm in the process of just trying to kind of use up everything I have, and make the most of everything. So I would really like to make a thyme infused honey, because then I can also have it on hand. First of all, it's just going to taste really wonderful, and of course thyme is also very good for anything like sore throats and colds. It just has so many wonderful properties for that, and to help with that. So that is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to start off by making this infused oil, which will have to sit for about 4 to 6 weeks, I think, for it to be really nice and fragrant. And I am using dry rose petals here. You can also use fresh. I do not have fresh rose petals right now. I do have a rose plant which did actually have a couple of beautiful yellow roses only a couple of weeks ago, but they kind of dropped off now, and I think some new ones may be coming on the horizon, but I don't have any yet. So you can always use dried, and in fact I would recommend that if you are making an infused oil, it is beneficial to use dried plants in general, especially if you are just starting out with making oils, because then there is the least likeliest chance of your oil spoiling if the plants are dried. So dried is always a go-to, is always a good idea. So I'm going to start with that, and then I will move on to the infused honey, and I will be back with you after I'm done.
Reconnecting with nature and rewilding myself is something I decided I needed to do when I first moved to this city. I longed to feel closer to nature and to feel that connection, and even though I did not have the countryside around me, I dedicated time to find other ways of feeling nature's magic. I feel that nowadays in our world there is a lot of disconnection between us and nature, and that many have become detached from the natural world by distractions, noise, and pleasures of our modern lives, which ironically in some ways have made life more complicated and made people less happier and less peaceful. I truly believe that as beings of nature, we were meant to live our lives alongside and in alignment with the natural world, and that our modern and perhaps more sophisticated and civilized ways of living have in turn taken us further and further away from our natural state of being, and have instead normalized a more controlled way of living that is dependent on systems and structures. And so, I believe that by slowly finding ways to reconnect with our natural world and return back to who we really are, it can have such a positive and profound impact on our lives, our mental and physical health, and allowing us inevitably to feel more free and happy. There are so many ways, big and small, that you can find to reconnect with nature and in turn feel more self-sufficient, healthier, happier and more fulfilled. And each little thing is so valuable. You can go for walks more often to take time to breathe, be present and appreciate the nature around you. You can cook healthier foods using more seasonal produce, or learn to grow some of your own food, even if only a little. You can learn to create and make your own home and body products, and simple things that can not only save you money in the long run, but will also help you to learn a skill. But I think most importantly, take time to be outside, connect with nature, touch the grass and listen to the birds. This is where we can always find true happiness. So here I have my rose infused oil, and I'm using olive oil for this. And you can basically use any type of oil that you like to work with. And I just really do love olive oil. It is so simple, it's really good for the skin and the hair. And it's just, yeah, very versatile. But you can also work with things like coconut oil, sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, and anything that you really prefer. I just think olive oil is very versatile, and I always buy it in bulk anyway. So this works very well for me, and I do most of my oils, infused oils, with olive oil. So now this oil is going to sit for about 4 to 6 weeks, as I do normally, and by that time it should be really lovely and infused and have a wonderful fragrance as well. And what I will do is every couple of days or so I will just shake the jar, maybe give it a stir with a little chopstick or something, to just get things moving in there. So I'm very excited about that. that. And this kind of oil, as you may have seen in my videos, oils are one of my most favorite things to make, infused oils, because they're just so easy. And again, you can make them with so many different varieties of plants and herbs and lovely sweet smelling plants and all kinds of plants, and depending on what you wish to use the oil for. So once again, rose is so wonderful for skin and hair. So that is how I'm going to use it. And generally I would just use this on my body, on my skin, as essentially like a moisturizer. So after a shower or bath or something, although it's way too hot for a bath right now, today it is actually so hot, it is stifling in London. It is, if I'm correct, about 27 or 28 degrees Celsius today in London, which is for us incredibly hot. It is very, very hot, and I am kind of melting right now as I'm talking. Yes, but this kind of oil is wonderful. I will still be using it because for me, my skin in winter or summer can get quite dry. So I do love making a nice big batch of this kind of infused oil and just using it up slowly. So I think this is going to last me a very long time. And then also oils are so versatile because you can then, as you may have seen in my other videos, you can then recreate them, repurpose them into lotion bars, body butters, and you can use them in soaps, like soap making. They are just so versatile. They are wonderful. So rose oil is something I will always have on hand. Rose or lavender, I think, because they're really, really versatile. And then yes, my honey here I'm very excited about this. It looks so beautiful, and even with the thyme flowers in there, with the purple flowers, it just looks magical. And I'm very, very excited for this. And so this is once again going to sit for about a month. Although you can leave it for longer, but generally about a month is enough for an infused honey. And so this is a longer process of making the honey. As I did talk about in some of my previous videos, you can make the process shorter by simply putting the honey on a very low heat with your herb, and infusing it that way, and then your infused honey would be done in a matter of a couple of hours. However, what can happen then is you can lose a little bit of the goodness of the plant itself, the properties, the medicinal properties, and also of the honey. So if you're using raw honey, like I try to do, you really don't want to heat it too much, or as less as possible, because it does start to lose all those beneficial medicinal qualities and all the enzymes and good things that it has. So generally with honeys and with oils, I do prefer personally to use the longer infusion method. So just to pour the honey or the oil over my herb and just leave it and let it be. So that is my personal preferred way of doing it, but everybody does different ways, so you can definitely experiment and see what works better for you. And of course, if you are short on time, then doing an infusion over a kind of double boiler sort of situation is always something you can do, but I do prefer the longer method, and I think you get the most out of your plant ingredients and your oils and honeys at that point. So yes, I'm very excited about these, and I can't wait to see what will happen. And I think I wanted to do this this week because that will give me just about enough time in the next month to also strain them and show you guys that process, and test them and taste them and see how they are, and to let you know as well in the next video. But yes, generally this week has been really wonderful, although very busy once again with work and preparations in the home, in the flat here, and the camping trip that we went on that I show in this video. This happened this past weekend, and I really wanted to share it with you guys because it was a very, very special trip for me and my partner. This was the first time in a very long time that I personally went camping, and I personally really love the outdoors. as you may know by now, I love everything about the outdoors, and I think if I could if I could have stayed and lived in that place, I would have been very, very happy. But it was incredibly special to just be able to leave London, even for just, it was literally a day and a half. So it was a bit of a short trip, but it was so wonderful and so enjoyable and so necessary to just leave London, for even a day and a half. We went down to quite down to the south of the country, the south of England, and it was absolutely stunning. The vistas, the landscapes along the way were just, it was just breathtaking. It was like another world altogether, and it was incredibly special because in the past couple of weeks, we had bought our first car together, actually, and it was incredibly special. This was our first car that we bought together, a second-hand car, but in any case, it was such a special event for us. We had been saving up for this, and it was incredibly special to be able to, in the past couple of weeks, get out to nature much more. We had been planning to buy ourselves a car for a while already, but just kept putting it off because where we live and where we work, we don't really require a car whatsoever. I am very lucky to be able to walk to work, to my workplace to teach, and my partner travels into the city on a electric bike, essentially. So we didn't really need a car, but as summer came around, we really decided that was the time that we needed to get it finally, because summer in London is just not very enjoyable in my personal experience. It gets really, really hot, very humid, very stuffy and sticky, and just very polluted and just not nice to be in. So we decided that this year we really wanted to try and leave as much as possible, every weekend if possible, and just to go anywhere outside of London and just to be able to see more nature, spend more time outside. And I feel like, especially now with everything going on just in the world and things being a little bit hectic, I don't know, I've been feeling a little bit tense lately with just everything happening, and it's felt a little bit kind of worrying, all the things that are going on right now in the world. And I just felt like I needed to escape into nature a little bit more. And we have been doing that in the past couple of weekends, and it has just been so wonderful and so like really a breath of fresh air to be able to leave and to experience nature and just to be at one with nature. And it was just absolutely incredible to spend the night out in nature and just to be surrounded by wildlife and trees. It just felt so needed, and it felt so natural and so wonderful. And I just felt like, like this is where we truly belong, I think, or at least I feel where I belong. But it really kind of opens your eyes to what is really out there, what is really so beautiful and so true. It just felt like we were supposed to be there, and we are all supposed to be there, and just feeling that connection with nature was incredibly special. I don't know how else to say it, but it just made me want to go back to even more basic living, even more kind of being more self-reliant, being more closer to nature, and living in that way as well. And it is something I have always been so passionate about, is trying to simplify my life and our life living here in the city. So, and this is kind of why I feel like I created this channel, because I wanted to share with anybody else out there, no matter who you are, but especially if you, like we do, if you live in the city and you perhaps want to find ways of slowing down your life and finding little ways to live simpler and feel more connected with nature, as I know that I really wanted to feel this way. And so being out there, it just reminded me of everything that I really want to do more of, which is essentially to slow down life and to be living more in alignment with nature, in connection with nature. And my crafts and my passion for herbalism really does help me with that. It helps me be creative and find different ways of doing things and using things. And herbal medicine, for example, again, being more self-reliant and finding ways of just looking after myself, ourselves, a lot more. So this is something I definitely want to do a lot more of on my channel, is to show different ways that I am, and again, I am still very much learning. I'm still very much in the process of learning like different self-reliance skills and life skills, and I find it very useful. And I think that now in our day and age, it is more important than ever to be more self-reliant and to learn basic skills, I say basic, it is something I think our maybe grandparents did, but these things have largely been forgotten, I think, right now. And I think it is slowly making a comeback with people sharing their homesteading skills and things you can do around the home to be more self-reliant, to be able to make things and do things by yourself. And I think those skills are so wonderful, and I think we could all use them nowadays. I think living in a world that is very, it is, quite uncertain and kind of unstable right now. And I think more than ever, it feels so empowering to know how to do things, to have basic skills of helping yourself and doing things around the home. And I think what I'm trying to say is this trip especially really reminded me of everything that I want to do more of, to share with you a lot more on my channel here. Everything from herbal medicine to little herbal recipes for your home, and little things and skills you can do at home to make your own products, kind of things I have always already been sharing, but I would like to do a little bit more of that this summer if possible. I will be a little bit restrained on time for sure, because I will be at my parents' home, I think, for the majority of the summer. So I will see how much I can get done and share with you guys. But it has certainly made me a lot more passionate after this trip. It really reminded me of everything that I want to do and to be able to share with all of you. And the fact that we now have a car, I am also incredibly excited about, because we haven't never had this opportunity before to every weekend to go to different places. And so I'm very excited to also be able to film and document places where we go, and hopefully to be able to share with all of you and to show you and share with you all the beauty of the English countryside that we have here, and also the Welsh countryside, hopefully very soon, and hopefully any other places that we end up going. So it's very exciting. It is something that we've been dreaming of doing for such a long time, and it has been like a little dream come true for us. I know for many people it is perhaps not exciting at all, people who, have a car or have had a car all their life, but for us it's not been the case. And so this has been a very exciting time, and I feel like we are only just beginning, and we are so looking forward to doing a lot more travels around the country, a lot more camping, which is something we are both very passionate about. We love the outdoors, and it is something that I hope to be sharing a lot more with all of you, and hopefully finding a way to connect with nature in some shape or form and share it with all of you. And hopefully it can bring all of you a little bit of peace and joy, as it has for us. I hope to be able to share so much more in the next coming weeks. So if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. And of course, guys, for all of you who are already subscribed and are such wonderful, lovely people, thank you so much for all of your support. And also on my previous video, thank you for all your kind words, and for being so supportive and just for your understanding that my next few weeks are going to be probably a little bit tumultuous, to say the least, with all the moving. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your support. And yes, I shall hopefully be seeing you in the next couple of weeks and taking you to some other beautiful places. So with all of that, I don't want to keep this video too long, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and your week, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye guys.